What's up guys, welcome back to the shop. So in this quick tech tip episode, I'm going to go ahead and show you the easiest way I found to remove the lower timing gear and oil pump drive off of an LS based motor. So right here we have the old 6-liter that was in the Chevelle. It spun a cam bearing. Don't look at those cam bearings, they're trash. And then right behind me here we have the fully forged 6-liter. The new crank did not come with the lower gear on it, so we have to take the old one off. And to do that, I swung into Harbor Freight today and picked myself up this handy dandy bearing separator and puller set. And this is supposedly the easiest way to get these things off. So let's go ahead and get this opened up and give it a whirl. I think it was 50 bucks roughly for the set at Harbor Freight. Okay, this is what comes in the set. Comes with two different sizes of separators and some different length spacers so that we can get this pulled off. So I think we're gonna go ahead and just start with the large one and get that on there. To get this puller separator on here, it's pretty simple. You just gotta loosen up the nuts on the studs and pull it apart, and then slide it in behind the teeth. It's going to be all the way out, it looks like, pretty much. We can get in there and get a good couple threads to bite. I think we'll be in good shape. Three-quarter inch wrench just to snug these guys down a little bit so they're firmly seated. And then we just need to pick the piece that will be long enough to get us in there. Some extensions, I think we can make these work. I tried using the 3-jaw puller and a 2-jaw puller I had. Couldn't get the 3-jaw puller in there, and the 2-jaw didn't have enough structural integrity not to pop off. It just kept jumping off the back of that gear. So doing a little internet research here, came across this method, and it seemed like it was a pretty solid, pretty easy way to do this. 11/16 on that, and we'll see how this works. Because I was kind of an idiot and left when I threw the LS1 crank out, when it spun. There it goes, one pop. When it spun the rod bearing on it, I just tossed the crank in the scrap metal pile and did not pull this off. So pulling it off of this 6-liter, which I don't know, it's still a good, whoop, there it goes, startled me. Still a good rotating assembly, but I need to get a cam gear, so it's coming with me. All right guys, it's just that simple to pop that off. It really is a really slick way to do this. It was easier than I anticipated even, so took all of about, took more time to unbolt the damn, or took more time to open up the case than it did to actually pop the gear off. So that is a handy tool that will be going in my toolbox from here on out. Harbor Freight's quite nice when it comes to getting cheap tools, so if you're not going to use stuff like this very often, but maybe every once in a blue moon, go swing to Harbor Freight. Get that guy, I think it was 44 bucks plus tax, and it worked like a dream. There it is, no damage, nice and clean. So we'll go ahead and get this key out of here and get this thing cleaned up and get it put on the new motor. So that thing's ready to go in the car here this week. So we should have this thing back up and running on the road here shortly. Now we let it soak.
That means big savings. Propane is also extremely versatile. It can be used for cooking, heating water, drying clothes, outdoor living, and propane is predominantly made in North America, and supplies are abundant. Propane is also a smart choice for the environment. It can't contaminate. So heavy. Wow.
It's pretty damn good. A little bit of Kim dip for the kids. Clean that dirty bastard right up. We need to install this lower crank gear on here. It is a press fit gear. So we're gonna try a couple different methods. First method, we're gonna go ahead and throw this thing in the oven at 300 degrees for about 20 minutes. We're gonna see how that works. If it slides right on, we won't do another method. If it doesn't, we're gonna go ahead and use the harmonic balancer pulley with a piece of pipe or another socket in order to push this thing on. So let's go get this thing in the oven. Alright guys, I've got the old Woodruff key out of the old crank. It was a bearcat to get out of here. What I ended up doing was taking a set of dikes, clamping it into the Woodruff key and squeezing as hard as I could and using that to roll it out. Now I did put a couple little burrs into it, so I went ahead and filed any burrs off of it. And it goes ahead and slides right down into place, right where it needs to go. And as soon as the sprocket is, what is it? The lower timing gear is baked. You got what? How many 2 minutes we got left, Jackson? We got 10 more minutes on that, and this thing should be ready to slide right on. If it doesn't slide all the way on, we're going to go ahead and use the harmonic balancer tool method. But I wanted to try a couple different methods just to see how it would work. So let's cut back to it in about 10 minutes, and we'll see if we can get this thing to slide on. All right, guys, it's been about 30 minutes. We're going to go to the oven and see if we can get this thing on. If we have to, we'll give it a little persuasion with the socket, but I don't want to hit it too hard because of the thrust bearing. I don't want to mess up our thrust bearing. So let's go grab this thing out of the oven. Oh, it melted a lot of shit off. All right, let's go, quick. Ooh, it's hot. It's like 300 degrees hot. And like all good GoPros, they die right when you're in the middle of doing something. So that did not work that well for us. Could be that we possibly screwed up the Woodruff key slightly trying to get it out, so it wasn't a smooth transaction. So we're going to go ahead and use our harmonic balancer install tool. So let's go ahead and drive this thing home. Oh, we're going to have an issue with it turning the motor over. You just want to go until this thing gets seated right down tight to the crank. There we go. Install. I would highly recommend just go ahead and using the harmonic balancer install tool. Works a lot cleaner. A lot easier than waiting 30 minutes for the oven. And just get that thing put on right where it needs to be. There you go, piece of pipe, harmonic balancer install pulley. That thing's seated down there perfect. It's ready to go, so we can get the timing chain on. Come here.
Come here, you little sweetie. Yeah, sweetie. Yeah, sweetie.
No, yeah, just a sweetie. Just a little sweetie. Well, hey, you grumpy old man.